Now we are live. Hello, good morning. How are you doing today? It's a beautiful and another Wednesday morning right here. And welcome to Upskilling 5 million 5 million African freelancers in 5 years. That is the goal, and it's powered by SourceIn Business. So good morning and welcome once again. Now we really apologize that we couldn't come through to you last week. This is due to some personal challenges, but that is overcome right now, and now we are back and ready to take on the day. So today we'll be talking about, as usual, we'll be talking about freelancing, about freelancers and the opportunities that are available for freelancers, especially as provided by SourceIn Business, and of course SourceIn Mentorship Program. My name is Oge Mark, and today I have a guest today, and he'll be talking basically on web development. So wherever it is that you are joining us from, wherever it is that you go. Okay, Robbie, Anto, I see that you are interested. Okay, if you're interested, just keep on listening and you get to see who our guest would be. And then, of course, you get to listen to all the things he's got to say and how you can join in the SourceIn Mentorship Program. And, of course, provide your services as well on the SourceIn mentorship platforms and other platforms as well. Okay, all right. So wherever it is that you are joining us from, thank you so much. Ademola Aditunji, thank you from Lagos. Do share the link. You can drop the link on your WhatsApp status or on your social media handles so that people that need these opportunities can come forward and then get to see what exactly we're doing. I mean, the opportunity is basically free, so you need to you need people to know about these things. I mean, you would do the Lord's work if you do that. Okay. All right. So let's move on to our guest today. And his name is Chime Princewill. Hello, Princewill. Good morning. And how are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Good. I'm good. It's good to have you here.
Same here.
Okay. So we need people to know you. Now, who is Chime Princewill? You need to introduce yourself to everyone so they get to know who exactly you are.
All right, guys. So Chime Princewill is a main stack engineer, okay, who is focused on web development, okay. So I, with over 3 years experience in the software industry, and I also engage currently, 4 years experience plus in the tech industry, okay. And currently I engage in multiple software roles, which are a full stack engineer at Discasio, a full stack facilitator at Cover IT World, and a web development facilitator at SourceIn Business. Thank you, guys.
So that means before you ventured, because you said 4 years plus, so before you ventured into web development and being a mesh engineer, there were other things that you were doing before, right?
Sure, there we are.
Okay. So that means with this background you're giving to us, it means it's easier. It's not impossible for someone who does not have any background at all in web development to venture into this particular aspect of tech, correct?
Not actually, okay, because
okay.
I believe, yes. So not actually, because there is always a starting point, okay, just like a kid that started from nursery school, okay, with no knowledge at all. Okay, so once they start teaching the kid starts behaving based on the knowledge that was taught, okay, and starts living in the knowledge that was taught to the kid. So that same applies to web development, okay? No one is a magician here, right? So it's what you start learning, and once you have the passion, okay, to learn it and acquire the skills, you're on it. You're unshakable.
That's great. So then, since we got that out of the way, now tell us, what is web development and how is it important to businesses? What exactly is web development? What does it entail? What encompasses the term web development?
Okay, so web development, okay, it entails the designing, okay, maintenance, and building of websites. All right.
Okay.
So it deals more with things that happens behind the scene, okay, in order to make a website looks great, work fast, okay, and have a very seamless what user experience. So just like the explanation, okay, and talking about the significance towards businesses, we all know we have a lot of what business merchandise around, okay, and how they wish to what have their business, okay, go online and have what a digital recognition, okay. So we'll start from what with web development, okay. With web development, a business is what willing to uh, willing to give its what visitors a quick what navigation to its product. What what do this mean? Okay, so now you have several products which you want what your users to what to know about. So with something like web development, you have what brought it near to your users, and also not just bringing the product near, okay, but allowing what adding links, okay, that links to what other products that they would want to what access into. Okay, so again, it's what it's for the purpose of attracting what search engine traffic. We all know how seamless, okay, consumers are always what using a browser like Google search engine or other what search engine to search for informations. So with proper what keywords of your products in your application, you are allowing users to what quickly find your product once they what try to search for information on the internet. Okay.
Interesting.
Yes. Yes. So again, it also what improves sales.
Okay.
Yes. So with
All right. So
something
now you said that, what are the different aspects of web development? Because you did
okay, they
mention
have
that it's so important that there are links that are attached to it. It helps to direct, consumers to other, products that the entrepreneur might offer and all that things. So what are the different aspects? I heard you also mentioned something about keywords and things like that. So what are the several aspects of web development?
all right. So they have several aspects of web development. Okay. They have the probably the primary ones, which is what HTML. That's okay. That enable users to what add those contents into the browser, and with that HTML, we can also increase what is called what SEO, search engine optimization. Okay,
Okay.
so people can also what go into what web design. All right, so web design entails using tools like Figma, okay, or Photoshop, okay, in order to what to design a proper product and now what send it to the development team for them to what consume. They also have what the developers themselves. So these ones are the ones that deals with what the behind the scene. Okay, these ones are the ones that place those contents, add the functionality, add the proper user experience, okay, that is needed. Okay, and there are several of them. It depends on what which uh, you find interesting, and also digital marketing as well. Okay, so with that, okay, there are people that are focused on what adding ads into the web page. Okay, all
Okay.
those are what ways to what improve and integrate with what web development. So there are a lot of areas, yes, to cover when you talk
Now, from
about
from
what
the
web
from the
development.
perspective of the consumer, from the perspective of the individual who is perhaps one seeking the services of a web developer. Now, do you need to seek the service of each and every one of these people who focus on several aspects of web development, or you need to find just one person who has all of these things? Is it possible for one person to have all these skills, all these ideas, all these aspects, to focus on all these aspects? Or you just need to find someone who does, web design and coding and all of that?
All right, so in web development, someone can be a full stack engineer, okay, which means the person can integrate with the what front end and what on the back end as well, which covers what the product itself, okay. But in some cases where you need what where you don't need to micromanage users or bug users with a lot of loads, okay, you may have to what employ all these sectors individually so that everyone will work what independently and seamlessly in order to what have a proper check on what on the aspects that you are focusing on in order to give the consumer what the consumer needs. Okay, so it's always advisable to always have what a proper structure of your product. Take for instance a user, okay, that wants a user that wants the web developers to develop a blog site for the user. Okay, there should be what a focus because there are a lot of what web blogs. Okay, so the user should have his or her own what focus, and with that focus, the developers, okay, will be there to what have a proper user story, okay, a documentation on it. So it's always good to have what someone that what documents the product. So after documentation, and also someone that will what have a proper design of what the user what is expecting or will feel nice, allowing the
Okay,
developers. Yeah.
from the perspective of someone who wants to start up a career in web development, do I need to have to know all of these things, or I need to focus on one? And if I need to focus on one, how do I decide? How do I know that, oh, okay, this is what I need to focus on?
All right, so there are a lot of what fields to focus on when it comes to what web development. There are a lot of things to focus on when it comes to web development. Okay, and yes, it's allowed to have what indecision at first. Okay, because something you have not actually known, you are just having the urge, okay, or the passion to go into this. You will definitely want to what ask questions. Okay, so now, and not just ask question, make research. Take for instance, I'm fully into what JavaScript what language and its library. Okay, so I decided to what focus on one. So I will suggest for everyone to have its own focus. They have Python, they have Java, they have C++, they have a lot of them. Okay, but focusing on one gives you edge depending on what you would want to be. But for web development, you look at businesses that uses what these languages to build their sites. Something like Facebook, okay? Facebook runs what on JavaScript, LinkedIn as well, Twitter as well, okay? Instagram as well, and other big businesses also are engaged in that. So what does that mean? It means that what they have more jobs, okay, to offer JavaScript developers, and JavaScript developers is something that will still that have come to stay. Okay, so with that, you will be able to what know, okay, fine, this is the area I want to focus on, or this is the area I want to focus on. If you solely want to focus on what data analysis,
We seem to be having a connection problem.
is okay for
I think.
that.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, so we have Python that could what make the data analysis very flexible, okay, when it comes to, yes, implementing the coding. So that is it.
Interesting.
Language as well.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
thank you.
All right. So this is Chuka from Kano. He's a graphic designer. So Chuka, thank you so much for joining us today on upskilling 5 million African freelancers in 5 years. And there are also other people as well. Robbie, yeah, I see you. Ademola Adetunji from Lagos. Thank you so much for joining us. Williams, thank you for being a part of this. Please share the link to your contact list. This is a free event, and the opportunities to have access to these skills are basically free. Not basically, they are actually absolutely free. So allow Habib, thank you for joining us. Sule, Kabir, thank you so much for joining us. Nancy and Timothy, thank you for your presence here. Yes, this is absolutely a free event. And so everyone, you should, come in and take part of this. Now, you are a graphic designer. Perhaps you're looking for a way to upskill. You want to acquire more skills, then SourceIn Mentorship Program is the place you need to be, because all of the skills being offered here are absolutely free. Okay. Emmanuel, thank you so much as well for coming. All right, so let's move on to the conversations we got lined up today. Now, what are the duties of a web developer? Now, after you have, found out and decided on, the place to, before we talk about the duties of a web developer, I got to ask, right? Do you need to try all of these things before you decide, you know what, this is the one that I like? I want to do this. Or how exactly do you decide and say, you know what, I don't want to be a web designer. I want to be, I don't know, I want to write a code or something. How do you decide that? Because some people are very confused and do not exactly know what to do. Many of them might have interest in many of these aspects of web development. So then, do they need to try every single aspect, or they just need to? How do they need to decide to say, you know what, this is the aspect I want to focus on?
Okay, so one thing that is common is what? Technophobia. Okay. Yes, people tend to, because this is all about technology and it concerns coding, and with what they have heard others say, they'll be like, no, I cannot do this. You get? So they are now having what? Indecision, doubting themselves that they can't do this. You get? But one thing is for sure, right? Others tried it, okay, and they are now professionals. So as well, you could try it and become professional as well. Okay, so I always advise people, okay, to always focus on one. If you want to focus on front end, you focus on front end and know that your concern is to apply designing, okay, and user experience, okay, to a browser. If you want to focus on server, you focus on server, which is to manage database and API calls, okay, and deployment as well. So anyone you feel like going, just choose one first. It's either you choose to be a back end, or you choose a front end. So front end entails the primary things, which is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, we now have libraries now like Nest.js, React.js, okay, Vue.js, and more. Okay, that the front end engineers can use. Likewise, the server side engineer, the back end engineers like PHP. We have also Node.js for that. Okay, and other language like Java as well. Yes. So always go for one. Yes.
That's great. So at 10:30, we're playing you a video. Now, the video talks about a bootcamp that is coming up and is powered by SourceIn Business. Now, if you're someone who has an internet-based business, or you're interested in being in the internet space, you want to have a business, online business, but you don't want to sell a product, you don't want to have to, have a stock, you just want to be in the business of the internet. Maybe you want to write an ebook, but then you are still confused. You're confused about what to do, how to start. You're confused on the aspect to focus on. A video is going to come up at 10:30, and it's going to show you and tell you where this bootcamp will be held. And of course, it's being organized and being hosted by Femi Johnson. And so the video is going to come up right now. we're back. We are back. All right. So we're still talking to Princewill, who's also Chime Prince, who's also a mentor on SourceIn Mentorship Program. Okay. Now, we're just going to wait for him to just, sort out his camera, and we gotta go. All right. So yeah, we're back. Now, Princewill, we're going to ask you, what are the basic, duties of a web developer?
Okay. The basic duty of a web developer,
A web
okay,
developer,
is
yeah.
to have is to yes, is to have the ability to what to maintain a site, okay,
Okay.
to have the ability to what design a site, and to have the ability to definitely build a site, okay. So all this combines to what web designing aspect, okay, the developer aspect, okay, and the what UI aspect as well, okay, in order to what and also uh the basic another basic duty of a web developer is to what have the ability to run a test, okay, before production.
Okay.
So not just that, also even to know how to search on internet, okay, a web developer should be able to what know how to search on internet, use the proper keywords, and get what he wants or she wants.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So that's great. Now, at the start of the show, you gave us a list of the things that you did. As part of them, you're also a mentor on mentorship program. You're also sitting on other positions in other places as well. So it's safe to say that you're a freelancer. Now, there are also other web developers as well who are, still contemplating on transitioning from, being from a static, being in one place. Now, what would you say? What is the advice or the steps you need to advise fellow, upcoming freelance web developers, or those who are trying to start up their career in web into going into freelancing? How would you tell them to start? What would you say to them? How would you convince them to move into freelancing in their choice of career?
All right. So I have this concern, okay, once it concerns what freelancing, and based on
Mm.
experience with freelancing, okay, freelancing is what a very good what choice to go into, no doubt, okay,
Sorry, just before
because
that,
everyone wants to what.
sorry, just a moment. Allow baby, yes, you're allowed to ask questions. Please drop your questions in the comment section. And once we're done with, the conversation we'll have today, we're going to ask, Chime Prince, and then you give answers to these questions. So whatever your questions are, just drop them. All right. Please go ahead.
Okay, so freelance, okay, it's very very great, okay, and I will advise everyone to work towards working as a freelance, okay, because there's nothing like working from your comfort zone, okay, but
Mm.
that is if you are no longer what on the beginner level, okay. So
Okay.
if you are on the beginner level, I advise that you look forward, okay, and of how will I put it, a no freelance work, okay, because the reason is that we developers at times, even professionals, do have what problems, okay, to solve, okay. We
Okay.
have series of debugging of things to do, and if you are not closely around those people, okay, that are above you, that can assist you, definitely you will sleep on that bug and for days, and before you know what's happening, you're already missing deadlines. All
Mm.
right, so before going into uh freelancing, okay, there are key factors to consider, okay, which is what ability to meet deadline, okay. Now uh you have grown well, that your manager will not look down on you to say that
Connection.
okay, okay, to start microman sorry sorry, look down on you to start what micromanaging you, and you should also make sure that you have built your what time management. Is very essential, very very essential, because if not, a proper time management, you won't be able to meet up with other engagements. Okay, I take myself as an example. I do side gig jobs. I work, and I also run facilitator work, okay, on two platforms already. All right. So if no much proper time management, I won't be able to do all those things, because it also intends you reading as well. Because as a web developer, you must definitely be reading always, because web development is something that it evolves every day and every moment. So you need to be on top of the game in order to still be recognized, and still
Yeah.
yes, practice with best practices. So freelance is very good, and it has its own downside as well. Take for instance, some other countries, okay, may or not just some other countries. You can work for someone, okay, because it's a freelance. The person will not finish up your payment after work. You get it's so much annoying. Okay, I've once engaged in
So how do freelancers, how do they protect themselves to make sure that the job they get paid properly, full in full?
okay, so for me, okay, any job that I want to engage on, I always request for a proper offer letter, okay, that holds a signatory, okay, to the higher officials of the firm. And I'll also make sure that I'm recognized on the firm, so that I will know that if anything goes wrong, I will know who to who responsive of, okay, who to call on, and who to okay, make mention of that this happens or this happened. So I wanted to give example of what happened to me. All right. So there was this job I engaged in. Okay, it was for Commodify. Okay, so we were three actually from Nigeria. So I worked on the
Okay.
back end axis of the project, and at a particular time they had issue with the front end. We have to quickly jump into the front end to resolve the issue and return back. Okay, so this is a project that should take up to 3 months. Okay, but we were we buckled up enough to finish the project in 1 month. Okay, just to impress the manager. And what happened last? The manager close the site, close the app, and do abscond with our $2,500 each. You get it's annoying. It's annoying. So that is another things we see in freelancing. You just take it that you know anything you see you take. If you meet a good person, a good client, you are lucky. If you meet a bad person or a bad client, you are lucky. Okay, but I realize that it is high on the Indian side. Okay, it is high on the Indian side. They don't keep to their words with
So then
at
how do
least.
you make them do that? Because being a voiceover artist as well, there's
Yeah,
certain things that we do. There's certain things that we do. Usually, when a client gives you a job, especially a client you haven't worked with before, and a client might not keep to their word. So when you record what you need to record, you intentionally make mistakes. You give
of
them a
course.
fantastic job. Like you do a fantastic job, right? But you intentionally skip some words, especially some words that are very, very important. For example, you can skip the name of the company and then deliver them. So they are thinking, oh, okay, he has delivered the job. But this is not an error. It's not an error. It's something that the person who did the voicing can correct. All right. And so
Yeah,
what happens is when the client comes and says, okay, I need you missed the name. And then you say, my balance, please. And then they pay the balance, and then you send them the complete job because already you have given them. Because the excuse usually is, I want to test run your voice. I want to see how you sound. I want to see if you can do the job. But you've already done the
yeah,
job. You see that you
of
can do the
course.
job. You see that you can deliver. And then this is what some voiceover artists do to protect themselves. So in the world of web development, you just can't leave it to fate. You just can't leave it to say, you know what? is by chance or by luck. If you find someone who's honest, great. If you don't find someone who's honest, well, too bad. No, there has to be a
Of course.
way to protect
Well,
yourself, protect your
yes.
business.
Yes. So there are also sites, okay, that has this immunity over their workers.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, like Upwork, okay.
Okay.
They have Fiverr, okay, and so on. Okay, these are freelance what sites that with them, okay, they also has what this brain trust as well. Okay. So what they do is that is what they stand as what an intermediary between you and the client. Okay.
Okay.
So with that, you are sure that once you are done with your work and do it perfectly well, that you are getting your payment.
Okay.
Okay.
That's great.
So yes. So that can also what help
Okay.
as well.
All right, Princewill, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Johnson.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the conversation from the background. I think it's also important to mention that that is exactly what we do on Sourcing Business Platform. Okay,
Okay.
we like I always say concerning my own career in freelancing, I've been in this field in the last 9 years. Okay, and some of the things you shared are things I've experienced over and over. That's why freelancers need coordinated platform where their interests can be protected, where their skills can be promoted, and where their services can be, rendered to the right customers. Okay, so it's a common thing when you are getting job or you are giving services through the back door. But when you use a platform like Sourcing Business, your money is already paid. Okay, at the confirmation of your job well done, you get your payment. So with that, there is nothing like a client walking away with your money because you have worked through a coordinated platform. All right. I had to say that because of those
Sure.
who are watching so that they will know. All right. Thank you.
All right. So now, before we go into how
Thank
rewarding
you,
web
Mr. Johnson.
development career is, I want to ask for someone who's a novice, who has no idea whatsoever, just thought, you know what, I want to change my career path. I want to go into tech. And web development seems to be very interesting. What are the first steps they need to take? Did you get the question?
No, I didn't. Sorry. I didn't get the
Oh, okay.
question.
All right. So the question is, for someone who has no idea, who just came upon tech, the industry tech, and wants to change their career, and they say, you know what, tech seems to be very interesting, and web development seems to be very interesting. I want to change my career. I want to start up as a web developer. What are the steps they need
Yes.
to take? What are the very first things they need to know, and what are the steps they need to take in order to begin their career as web developers?
All right. So in such people, I've encountered many people that will be like, Princewill, please, I want you to put me along web development and all those things, right? I will always tell them it's not about what saying it. Okay. So first thing I would say is what matters most is what the person's passion. The person must what have that passion. Without that passion, the person is going nowhere. Okay, because this is something that what we deals with serious communication with your brains. Okay, and if you are not fit enough, you will definitely drop drop back along the line.
Okay.
Okay, so the first thing is your passion. Okay, you have your passion, and probably once you have your passion, even if you don't have the fund, okay, someone will definitely what wish to what help you out with a laptop and what light and data. Is the passion that is required. So once it's there, another tools to be required is what the primary tools, which is what HTML and CSS. Okay, so the person has to what go on a step to know how to add this content into the browser and know how to what design this content that he places or she places into the browser. So with that, the person will gradually now what come into the functional aspect of what the programming, which is using a tool like JavaScript, React, or any other what functional language. So from there, the person can kickstart.
And it's so important and safe to say that a person can start. I mean, there are courses on web development being offered on SourceIn Mentorship Program, where you are a mentor as well.
Yes, I am.
Great. Now, let's move on to the money parts. How rewarding is web development?
Well, no doubt,
Let me
it's
rephrase
very
that.
rewarding.
How financially rewarding is web development?
All right, well, it's very very well okay overwhelming when it comes to financial aspect of it. Okay,
Ooh.
sure, it is, but the thing is you must work for it. You won't just sit there, okay, and it will be bringing money to you.
Yeah.
Okay, you must work for it, and don't say after all I've known this, why haven't I gotten a job, right? If you haven't gotten a job yet, stay back, keep practicing, engage in what projects. Okay, with that definitely you will have what room to learn more aspect of it, but it pays. Okay, take for instance, I get paid in sourcing business, I get paid in cover IT what, and I get paid in what in discussion as well. All right, so this is something that is overly what like overly
Keyword. Overly.
impressed. You get,
Overly.
of course, because as even a young guy trying to go into family, we all know how job outside there pays. Okay, even as a graduate, you will be priced low, you know priced low and all those things. But the truth is, you need to believe in yourself, right? Self-awareness is very very what is a key word. Okay, you need to what know what you can do yourself. So once you know what you can do yourself, people cannot what tell you what you cannot do, because you know yourself more than they know you. Okay, and one thing about development is what having empathy as well, because you have to work with teams. Okay, so if you are being meant to lead a team, you should also what try to wear the shoe, okay, that your team is also what wearing, in order to have a productive product. Okay,
That's great.
so it's paying, definitely it is. At least an average Nigeria, it can get you there.
Interesting. That's great.
Yeah.
Now, now this is for people who are watching and want to get on this career path as web developers. What
Okay.
are they going to expect from you? What should they expect from you as mentees on the platform?
Okay, well, you should expect more pressure from me. Yes, of course. You should. Even at times you may get annoyed, right? But that's the way. That's the way. Okay. I must push you. You know, you must get to your highest elasticity. Okay. So, and also, if you ask them, they will tell you I play with them as well. Okay, because someone cannot play makes Jack a dull boy. Okay, and they should expect what code practices. At least they can tell you, anyone working with me, I'm a programmer that doesn't like stress. So I find time to master shortcuts to everything I want to do, and they can attest to that as well, and how I make coding flexible for them as well. Okay, so I'm a very open mentor. I always give room for my mentees to always what hit up on me anytime. Okay, whenever they have challenges. So it's a good one. It's a good race, and we'll definitely get to the end of it with sourcing business. Sure.
Now, as a freelancer for over 4 years and counting, do you think that African freelancers have a chance at dominating the freelancing market? Considering the fact that when you go on to places where freelance platforms, you find a lot of Indians and Asians and a lot of people, then very few Africans. Now, sourcing business has been established to help Africans bridge that gap. Now, do you think that Africans in the nearest future will dominate the freelancers market?
Why not? There is one good thing about about Africans. Okay, we are always good at what we do. Okay, we are always good at what we do. That I can tell for South Africans. Okay, so for Africans, we're always good at what we do. It's unfortunate that what we don't have is what equal opportunity like the outside countries.
Okay.
Okay, because one thing about software development is what we do here is the same thing they do there, right? But we are not being paid equally. And okay, take for instance, I've gotten a call precisely from UK, a direct call precisely from UK. So they told me that there is a job offer for me. Okay, that they want to what acquire where I will be working from. It's actually a remote job. So when immediately I mentioned Nigeria, they quickly told me that the job is not meant for me.
Wow.
You get, yeah,
Wow.
it's so annoying. You get, it's so
Wow.
annoying. Okay, it's so annoying, and we have the brains definitely. Okay, and another thing for Africa is that there are these passionate humans. Okay, even when they don't know it, they have this passion to learn, and which is what is considered in any environment that concerns web development. It's not really about what being a professional at first, but are you willing to learn? Okay, so if you have that willingness to learn, definitely, okay, you will get to that peak. So sure, we can take up the market. Why not?
That's great. Precious says, I'm a front end developer. I need a coach and a mentor. I want to use it as a freelance. Now, Precious, I need you to go onto Sourcing Business. I need you to register. It's absolutely free. Now, when you get there, you would have access to, Chime Princewill, who is here speaking to me right now. He is a mentor. He will coach you, he will mentor you, and of course, you will have access him just as he has mentioned after the course. You might even learn a thing or two, on the platform. So just get there and register, and all of these questions you're asking will be solved completely. Okay, now finally, before we go on to take more questions, where do you see SourceIn Business as a freelance platform in the future?
Well, Mr. Johnson has already given us a hint to that. Okay, so sourcing business as this platform that what secures what the insecurity that freelancers have. Okay, yes. So with that in check, they will definitely encourage what freelancers to what subscribe to their channel or subscribe to their what to sourcing business. Okay, and have what well productive what products. So one thing about sourcing business is you don't just sign in because of what you think you're a freelancer. No, okay, there is a proper examination, okay, that needs to take place because they always what goes for the best. Okay, so once you are being examined, they are always sure that any project that is being handed over to you is fully what secured, and you will definitely meet the deadline. Because one thing in business is what meeting deadline. Okay, meeting deadline. Once you can meet deadline, believe me, you will definitely have more and more businesses. And as platform like sourcing business that understood deadlines, okay, and time factor as well, okay, they will definitely encourage what more freelancers. And with that, I see them as one of the top freelancing platform that freelancers we what always subscribe to, and not just freelancers, but what product owners we always subscribe to in order to get what their satisfaction when it comes to web other words software technology products. Thank
Okay.
you.
John Ndukwe, the mentorship is free. Absolutely free. There is no charges, no service charge, no hidden charges, nothing. You just go on the platform, sourceinbusiness.com and sourcein.business, and you register for free. No extra charge. Okay. Now, another question from William Igo Fosse. I think I got that correct. It says, I am presently taking a course in cloud computing and would love to be a back-end developer as well. How do I get mentored? Get on SourceIn Business, sourcein.business, register, and then these skills are available for your taking. And of course, you get access to mentors that would lead you by the hand. So it's www.sourcein.business. Just get on there. It's pretty easy and it's free. Absolutely free. Okay, so we also have a question from we have a question from Alao, but before we take Alao's question, this one is coming from William says, okay, all right, we've taken that already. And okay, let me see. We have, yeah, he says, thank you so much for acknowledging the request. My question is just about, okay, my question is just about how to move from an ordinary graphic designer to a social media manager. Don't really know how to go about that. Can mentor Princewill lead the way for us, please? Listen, yeah, there are other, okay, I'm going to allow Princewill respond to that question and then I can tell you exactly what else to do.
Okay, please come again with that question.
So the question is, says, my question is, he's just about trying to move from ordinary graphic designer to a social media manager. Now, don't really know how to go about it. Now, can Mentor Princewill lead the way for us, please? He's asking if you can mentor them on being social media manager.
Okay. Well, I can, okay, if being given the privilege, okay, by sourcing
Okay.
business. Okay, but I
Okay. And
guess
also,
sourcing business have facilitators
yeah,
that, okay, assist,
exactly.
yes, in that as
I
well.
Exactly.
think they need to understand that we have about 16 pathways, learning pathways on the platform as regard mentorship. So there is a pathway for content development, creative writing, and digital marketing. And these three pathways are actually running the same classes under the mentorship. So I think from that question, what you need to subscribe to is the digital marketing class so that you can be able to learn all different aspects of digital marketing from content to creation, which is already doing a part of content creation, which is graphic design. Then you can now move into digital marketing, itself,
Great.
so
Allow
that it
Habiba.
doesn't come to web development class. Okay.
Great. So I hope that answers your question, Alao. I hope it answers your question. So whatever skill you want to acquire, just get on to sourcein.business and then you get to have access to tutors, you get to have access to mentors, and then life is good, really. Life is really good. Okay. In the absence of all of that, I think we have exhausted, we've taken all of the questions we've got today. So, Prince Chime, now final words to people who are looking and watching and trying to start up their career. What are your final words to them?
Well, my final words to them is they should keep pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, don't be demoralized because of the rough codes you see, or rough structures you see while trying to implement web development tools. Okay, it's not easy and nothing good comes easy. That's the truth. Okay, but once you are there, you are there. No going back. Okay,
Great,
once you are there, you are there. No going back. So just keep it up. One day your light will shine. Okay.
great. Such encouraging words. Such encouraging words. All right, and that's about that for today on upskilling 5 million African freelancers in 5 years. Now, all the people who asked questions about wanting to be mentored, I have another question here. Let me see. Says, can product management be learned on the platform? Absolutely. Just get on the platform and you learn all that too. Yes, it can be learned on the platform. Yes. And let us see if we've got more. Okay. Yeah, I said the mentorship is free.
For
So,
product management, you should subscribe to business analysis. Okay. Go for
okay.
business analysis, then it will be covered. Thank you.
All right, so that's about that on today. We'll be back again next week, Wednesday, same time, 10 o'clock, with another person who will be teaching us and taking us by the hand and walking with us through the world of freelancing, through the world of freelancers, acquiring skills. So whatever it is you want to acquire, just get onto SourceIn.business and you get to have access to these tutors and mentors. My name is Ogie Mark, and I thank you so much for watching. And yes, we'll be back again next Wednesday. But before we come back, I need you to do something for me. I need you to go on to social media platforms on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and on YouTube as well. The handles are quality, SourceIn Business, subscribe, and of course, make sure you share the link so that some other person in your circle will know exactly what's going on. And remember, all of the skills and all of the courses offered are absolutely free. They are free. All right. So thank you so much. And I'll see you next week. Have a good day.